Hello everybody, this is Niam bringing you game 2 of the semi-final from DreamHack Valencia, quarter-final of DreamHack Valencia between TargA and Liquid HerO. TargA, I believe, teamless, though I may be wrong on that. But we're going to be on Ohana. I can't remember which version it is, the replay doesn't specify it. I think it's probably going to be WCS edition. But TargA going to be spawning up on the top left-hand corner of Ohana, and Liquid HerO as the Protoss on the bottom right. And we are going to see, by the looks of it, another Forge Fast Expand out of HerO. He managed to win game 1 by doing Forge Fast Expand and then Cannon Rush the third, as well as Pylon blocking the natural. And just that repeated pressure, as well as Warp Prism harassing the main, just decimated the economy of TargA. TargA? It's a cross between TargA and Tasia. TargA, and just brought him to his knees, so that once all his overlords had gone down, when Liquid HerO made his main push in, he just could not reinforce at all. And the probe for HerO going to be scouting in just to see if TargA's taking an early pool, and decided to go hell for leather and try and 6 pool, but he hasn't by the looks of it, and TargA puts the pool down on 14. HerO, I think he might be slightly delayed in putting down his forge if he is going for the standard 14 forge timing, but he is waiting for a small bit, so it might be Nexus first instead. However, we've yet to see the probe go out to place it, but we are going to see the Overlord sort of sauntering its way across the field. It's quite hard to try and find different verbs for the way that the Overlord saunters. And HerO is going to try and go for the pylon block. Who will get the placement first? Will it be the pylon or will it be the hatchery? It looks at the moment as though it might just be the hatchery. And no, almost got the probe. The probe's so close. And there's the hatchery. HerO fails on the pylon block. And there's the forge. Coming down a bit late at 18. But we've got another pylon as well. HerO managed to supply block himself temporarily whilst sort of trying to do that harass, but it looks as though he will try and cannon rush it, placing a pylon down here and then slowly building cannons in here. There will be a couple of things sent out to check for the probe, because TargA knows that there's a probe around somewhere, he just doesn't know where. So it looks as though drone's going to come out and place a third as well. So TargA really going to macro up in this game. The gateway's coming down, as well as a photon cannon for defense. And there is the third. HerO, will he do anything? Or it looks as though his probe's going to get cornered, and down goes the probe. So HerO can't do any harassment with cannons at the moment. And his scouting probe has gone down. However, he does have the expansion now fully functional and providing that income. It is also 22 harvesters to 18, which is something that you don't often see this early on, because Zerg can macro up those drones just immensely quickly, because they can produce 3 at a time, whereas Protoss can only produce as many as their bases allow. We've got the Overlords just scouting to see if the HerO decide to take any other bases. But other than that, we're going to see the Cybercore go down in a safe place behind the mineral line, so it won't get taken down easily. The scouting Zergling stopping just short of the ramp. Otherwise, that cannon, it will do just that and shoot at it. One more hit and that Zergling is toast. And just the probes are just going to go out and scout as much of the map as possible. That Ling taking that tower, and that Zealot going to take this tower. So map control is going to be roughly 50-50, but the Zerg do have basically mobile Xel'Naga towers, aka Overlords. But we are probably going to see some sort of immortal sentry, I think, out of HerO, because that would make sense given that TargA tried to do roaches in the last game. So sentry and immortal, a good combination against roaches. But we're going to see level 1 upgrades start to creep in from HerO. TargA hasn't actually got any sort of upgrades yet, but he is getting that Roach Warren up quickly. And that scouting overlord should get taken down by the stalker. Taking off, I think it's 14 per shot. Versus armoured, yes it's armoured, so it'll be 14 per shot. And the second stalker, yeah, that actually supply blocked TargA, so that's going to mean he has to spend extra resources. But the roach ones almost finish up, and we are going to need to see, yes, there's 4 more overlords on the way. So the overlord getting killed didn't really set TargA back that much, but HerO claims the other Xel'Naga tower, and it looks as though he's just going to pressure with a stalker and a zealot for now, because there are very little army units out for HerO. There is barely any sort of army supply out. There's a couple of roaches now, and there are some lings as well, so this could quickly shut down this zealot stalker. But there are more stalkers out as well. However, I don't know how effective this will be if the lings get us around, because roaches are good against stalkers, that much is known. It looks as though HerO is managing to micro pretty well, and here comes a zealot warp in on the low ground, which should help clear up some of those lings. And HerO has finished level 1 weapons, which will give him the advantage going into this engagement. However, there might just be too many units for him. TargA has 6 roaches in production, and it looks as... and 16 lings as well, and ling speed is just about to finish, so I think that HerO might need to pull out quickly. He is now definitely outnumbered, and those roaches are going to finish off those stalkers. There is no blink to micro with. So HerO is going to try and pull back and just stutter step as best he can to prolong the sort of invasion of the roaches and allow for a good defense to be set up. The robotics facility is getting finished up, but there might be too many roaches. They could bust through the wall if they're not careful. But they decide to stop short of, well, the lings and the roach decide to stop short of the wall, and that pylon is going to get taken down pretty swiftly by those lings, getting a nice surround on it. There is another second pylon up here in the corner, but the roaches are moving out. And HerO, he's not looking at his main. He gets a pylon down just in time, and it looks as though TargA might try to go down round the other side. He is rallying his units as though he might be, but HerO is at the moment supply blocked after the taking down of those 2 pylons, so he is having to build up another pylon. The Immortal will come out shortly, and that will provide a good bonus to his roach killing power, but he might need a good couple more of immortals, a couple more immortals, just to make sure that he has a solid defense against it. The pylon's going down at the new natural entrance so that he can put down a few stalkers. Takes out the ling that was blocking the third, and is presumably going to go and create a third now, leaving the 1 sentry there, so just in case either pylon gets taken down, he can put a force field there and just keep his natural nice and secure. And this contingency is going to be able to deal with anything in this vicinity. And that is probably the most complex phrase that you'll ever hear out of me when I cast StarCraft 2. Anyway, the rocks are going to be taken down, allowing TargA to take a 4th and not have an annoying choke to deal with, which is one of the reasons why the destructible rocks are there. They create additional obstacles. They're awesome for Protoss because they give nice chokes which funnel the large bio balls of Zerg and Terran into the choke. But then you've got small engagement here, but then you've got some wide open spaces like down here which Protoss do not want to engage in, because Terran and roaches, or Terran Marines and roaches, that poor zealot, Terran Marines and some roaches can get a very good concave. He manages to trap 2 roaches without losing any of his units, so a good snipe there. But we're going to see pathogen glands, so there's going to be infestors coming out. 5 on the way, could get a good fungal and could probably get a lot of this army, so HerO needs to be careful that he doesn't succumb. But the probe transfer to the 3rd goes ahead, and TargA is going to go back onto creep just so that he has that extra mobility. The observer sees all, and he's going to begin to move out with the added lings. That Stalker is going to die, and he looks as though he's just going to try and brute force the natural with this group and then send the others round the back. He does force field, HerO does force field it off, just stopping that from ever occurring, but Burrow's on the way, as well as level 2 melee attacks. So those lings going to do a lot more damage. HerO only getting level 2 attack now. He could have got it a tiny bit earlier, but he was researching armor. This is why I always like to go double forge personally. But his third's just going to get completely overrun. He does create a nice barricade, but the infested Terrans are just getting fired over it. Those zealots have a lot to deal with at the moment, and the probes are holding position, keeping those zerglings from moving anywhere. However, at the moment, I think that he needs to micro all his units extremely carefully, otherwise they could go down. Put on health bars. Those two Stalkers could fall quickly. That Immortal has no shields, and that's one of the strong points of Immortals. It's what makes Immortals so immortal. But he is going to have to fall back. He does snipe some of the roaches very nicely that were on attack move. And those infestors might go down, actually. 2 go down, all 3 go down at loss of minimal Stalkers. And then the blink away makes it perfect. If we go to units lost, or units killed, 196 by HerO to 58 by TargA. However, TargA has killed a lot more workers and did shut down mining at the 3rd for quite a while. The Spire is coming up as well as Hive Tech, so presumably going to see Broodlords, but 42 Lings are on the way as well as 4 replacement Infestors. Go to units lost again. Resources lost is pretty similar because Protoss units are expensive, but we're going to see another task force moving into the 3rd. Mining's going to be shut down again. I don't think there'll be enough for that many force fields. There isn't. There we go, there's the 2 extra force fields that were needed. Those Immortals are going to have to be so careful because they have barely any shield energy left, and they are all on half health. So HerO needs to micro for his competition at the moment, because HerO is currently 1-up. TargA, if he takes this match, will bring it on to game 3. It looks as though he might be completely overrun. There are extra roaches and lings and infestors spilling down the map as we speak. The last Immortal gets taken out. The zealots are overrun. And HerO GG's, and then, well, we're going to go into game 3, folks. It is currently 1-all in this best of 3. TargA, as he was attacking, expands off the back of it. The 4th gets put up pretty quickly as well. And HerO slightly out macroed. He didn't manage to get the pylon block, and he didn't manage to get the cannon rush. So from that point, he was playing off the back foot. I think he got the Forge and the Nexus slightly behind timings. But anyway, I've been Nian, and I will see you in game 3.